Alright, welcome to Comics League, ladies and gents. I'm Jared, and today we are attempting to complete my playthrough of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So, what we are going to do is try and complete at least the main quest line, and then we'll see. Then as for games to play after this, we'll do a little vote maybe and determine. But first, let's get this thing started.
You made it.
Of course I did.
Barnabas was ready to go after you.
Let's see
Like he
what
said,
is
it's the thought that
going
counts,
on
right?
today.
Apparently.
So, Brian, how are you
Come, the
guys
others
today
will wait.
as we discuss anything from comics, DC, anything you guys think is fun?
Especially with every Athenian guard looking for you.
Cleon will have to do more than that to stop me. What's all this?
We've begun working on a plan to take down Cleon.
Although I hardly call it a plan. Lots of talking, not much action.
So, you're taking down Cleon. Tell me the plan.
It won't be simple. His death would disrupt the peace and be worse for Athens.
He's right. We must discredit him first.
Aristophanes apparently has some play he thinks will do the job.
Some play? It is so much more than that.
Oh, don't get your tunic in a twist. I just don't see why we can't all love each other. It's so much more fun that way.
We can't just sit around. Cleon is sending a boat to Mytilene to kill the people there.
The people trust Cleon. They'll vote for whatever action he puts forth.
Anyone in the
That
chat,
does not mean
drop by
plan to
like your
Taking
favorite
down
Wonder
Cleon
Woman
won't be
moments or
easy,
anything
but with
that you
your
would
help,
like to discuss
will be
while we
possible.
play. Can be anything relating to like Wonder Woman, relating to DC Absolute, anything you guys would like to talk about at all. I may have jumped the gun leaving the building. It happens, people. It happens.
It'll be a disaster. A disaster, I tell you.
Calm down. What are you talking about?
My masterpiece. It will change everything. Amuse, astound, titillate, and open people's eyes to Cleon's machinations. But I need you.
I am no actor or poet, Aristophanes.
By the gods, no. It's Thespis. My leading man is missing. A play with no star is no play at all.
So where would I find him?
Thespis usually doesn't go far from his home. You'd best start there.
This shouldn't take...
Alright, so let's go save Thespis. As we stroll through the brilliant streets of Athens, let's discuss some Absolute stuff. So I've now read Absolute Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman. Honestly, my level of enjoyment goes Wonder Woman, Superman, then Batman, and this is not to say that any of them were bad. It's just that as like because I have more of a like emotional attachment to Superman and Wonder Woman than Batman, and plus also Wonder Woman gets the boost for automatically being like loads more enjoyable than Tom King. So there is that. What about you guys? What's y'all's favorite Absolute book so far?
This must be Thespis' house.
Come on, it's got to be here.
You don't look like an actor, unless you're playing an Athenian guard.
I...
Hush! I'm going to ask some questions, and you're going to answer.
But Commander Rexenor...
What's your name?
Bullis...
Well, Bulis, it's your choice whether you walk out of here. Do you understand?
Yes.
You'd better be telling me everything.
All I know is they wanted to keep this actor busy. See for yourself. He's at the tavern.
You sure that's all?
I just follow the commander's orders. I don't ask questions.
Do something
Hey, what's up,
worthwhile
Cameron?
and
How you
join
doing,
my crew.
dude?
You're loyal, and you follow orders.
You take me
What do you say?
to get away from Athens? Thank you. Thank
We're
you.
currently gonna go see if we can complete this quest. Well, actually, like the entire game, which should be able to. We're near the end of it. Let's see what happens. If not, we'll complete it on the next episode where we play this game. But in terms of like, in terms of like what game we're gonna play after this, I was thinking maybe some Halo.
Yeah,
I
what's
don't know, we'll
business?
see.
Oh, look at you.
I'm here for his employer.
So, he's not working now?
Yes, it's not working.
That it is. I don't think you understand the situation.
I said I'd stay. Don't want trouble.
If you don't want to leave with your head stuffed up your asses, you'll go now.
We'll be seeing you, Mistios. The commander's...
I's not feeling too good.
Gotta carry a drunk guy home. As is the life of Diana Themyscira, particularly when written by Tom King.
He said, you're behind the mask, you'll be perfectly safe, he said. You so strong, Ekaterini. Whee! Giddy ups! My parents said you'll either be an actor or a drunk. I fooled them. I became both. Told him Cleon will kill us all. It's more assaults than satire. The sausage seller was my
A reminder, you guys can ask me whatever question you guys would like to know about Wonder Woman, about anything DC related, Snyder. We can talk about DC possibly being sold to Universal, whatever you guys would like to talk about.
You need to sober up. This play's important.
So's Ekaterini. Please, she's...
If it means you'll...
Oh boy, this isn't complicated at all.
Going to enjoy this. I'll mess that pretty face right up.
Yeah, I saw that, Hunter, about the Jon Stewart statue. That's actually really cool. So now, Batman and Wonder Woman have statues of Burbank. That's really dope. hide for a bit so I can heal. I can heal. Now let's go complete this battle.
Sometimes wonder if leaving Catalonia was a good idea.
Now it's time to run because I am being pursued. Oh boy. Time to take evasive action so I don't get killed. The sword away. Come on. Come on, lose them. Lose them. There you go. Ah, nailed it. So what other questions or points do you guys want to address? Because, yeah, the Jon Stewart statue, it's interesting how they picked Jon over Hal, but what that probably is for some sense of, like, continuity between the movies and the, like, company in general, because it's very obvious that Jon Stewart is going to be the main DCU Green Lantern. So, we'll... I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how that Lantern show turns out. I don't have a lot of, like...
Too many muscles.
I don't have, like, a lot of, like, confidence in that because of who's involved, but we'll see.
Thespis said I'd find you here.
Ah, my darling Thespis, an artist in so many...
You don't understand.
So many do.
No. Thespis...
Well, I'm not giving discounts.
No. Thespis wants you to go to him.
Thespis does love to perform.
But you're his...
Commander Exenor has made it clear. It would cost me...
Don't worry. I'll deal with Commander Exenor. What do you mean?
Secret meetings, strange visitors.
If I do this...
It'd be my...
Okay then, I was gonna take out a commander. That's not hard at all.
Let no man be called happy before his death.
Okay, mark him.
Till then,
there seems little doubt that Exenor is aligned with the cult of Cosmos.
Okay, so that's where he is. So, okay, cool. I'll just go take this guy out pretty easily. Alright, so let me bring up the Eagle drone. Okay, so he is there. That's quite a location, but I guess we'll give it a shot. We'll give it the old college try. Come on, come on. Okay. I would have just started out and introduced Jon Stewart later. Yeah, that is. But I think it's because, like, well, for one thing, Gunn has a lot of the a portion of the cast being young, but a portion of them being old, which it's a really interesting way of doing things. I gotta retreat. Oh, so now they can attack me. Alright, I gotta run. All I gotta do is kill this guy, and then I can retreat fully. Missed him. Dang it. I can't keep your attack. I gotta confirm the kill and then I'm good to go. Come on, come on. Hold Y. Confirm the kill. Let's go. Let's go. Alright, I'm out. Let's retreat. But yeah, it is very interesting. But here's the thing. Gunn is really known for like focusing on like more of the obscure characters, which compared to Hal, that's who John is.
Is this proof enough
Like a
of his
bit
death?
more on the obscure side, so I can see where he wants to go. I mean, I would argue that John did get a massive boost from like from the Justice League cartoon, so that definitely helped. However,
my part is done. Go make sure Thespis is at the theater in time for his performance.
However, I don't like that like they basically brought up that like they can neither confirm nor deny that like Hal will turn into Parallax. So I'm like, so you're telling me that you are going to that like the first Green Lantern project in like a long time, you're going to just have you're going to kill off Hal Jordan. That's real smart. Max says, is Jon Stewart even a successful character? His animated movie flopped and he had to take Kyle Rayner's story. Yeah. See, here's the thing about Jon. It's actually a very interesting question, Mac. It's that the problem with Jon, and I mean Jon Stewart, not John Kent. Jon Stewart. See, he was popular with the Justice League cartoon. The problem is that DC didn't do enough, or still doesn't do anything, to really advance his character. And when they tried to push him, as in the case of the Beware My Power movie you mentioned, he didn't. It wasn't successful. Because I think that when people think about Green Lantern, even though Lantern is not as like well known as like a Superman or a Wonder Woman, I think that when people think of Green Lantern nowadays, probably because of the movie, they think of Hal Jordan and not Jon Stewart. And that's the problem. That's a vulnerability, if you will, that I see with the DCU, is that they are focusing on like characters or versions of the characters that people don't necessarily associate with DC. Like, yeah, people associate Green Lantern with Hal Jordan mostly. Mostly. That is a mostly. But when it comes to, like, DC, people think of, like, the Trinity. And the problem is, one of the three of the Trinity, arguably one of the most important female superheroes ever, is not getting jack squat from a universe that was supposed to respect DC. I have yet to see this massive respect for DC that Gunn has been promoting and saying that, oh my gosh, I love the source material and all that stuff. And I love Wonder Woman. Really? Plus, it even recently came out that it doesn't look like we're getting a Wonder Woman animated series, even though Gunn promised it. I think really what likely happened is that Gunn realized that Wonder Woman would outshine any of his DC characters, so he probably canned those plans. Because what you gotta understand about Gunn is that he is, to a degree, a narcissist, and he doesn't like anything to outshine his own stuff. Which is why I think part of the deal of him being the DC CEO should have been he can't direct anything. Because honestly, it's a big conflict of interest that he is able to, that he is the one creatively guiding the DCU, but he gets to also pick he gets to also like direct projects. I'm sorry. I think that's really like, that's a big conflict of interest. It'd be the same thing of like Zack being the CEO of DC, because what people don't realize that Zack Snyder was not the CEO of DC. What he was just a he was just like the main director directing the stories. He wasn't like the CEO, because there wasn't any DC studios. Now, if there is, you can't do it. You don't see Kevin Feige directing a movie, do you? Do you? No, you don't. And he's supposed to be the Kevin Feige. And I realize I may be taking that literally, but you know what? I'm sorry. I'm gonna take that literally. Let me just skip this cutscene. He shouldn't be directing stuff if he's gonna lead DC. That's honestly that's like that's where I think it should go. That's just me. What do you guys think? Do you guys think he should be directing projects if he's the head of DC Studios? I could be wrong. Cameron Perry says DCEU is already following the fact that Creature Chimeras is getting animated series before Wonder Woman. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's the thing. And that's what is interesting about it, because according to Britt, and you guys know I trust Britt, she said that like a lot of these projects that are being greenlit are one of two things. Number one, they're Hamadaverse projects that are being like repurposed, including the fact that David Cornsweet is playing Superman, because Cornsweet was originally Hamada's pick to replace Cavill, but ignoring that. And then it's not only the Hamadaverse stuff, but it's also, so Gunn had pitched a bunch of this stuff to WB when before he was in charge, and it got rejected. Now that he is in charge of DC Studios, he is able to greenlit all the stuff that got rejected. Which, it's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see if it works out for him. But I'm not very optimistic.
Fools look backwards.
So that's what all this is?
But hey, if it works, great. If it doesn't, then I'm sorry. I'm not really going to I'm not going to buy it.
Your plan sounds promising.
One of my students is posing as a guard at the Acropolis.
That's a bold.
Desperate path.
If you believe there's something at the Acropolis that'll help.
I expect.
Where do you need me?
To the western.
I'll find something at.
Good. I'm heading.
I'll be quick.
Alright, now we're going to the Acropolis to see what else we have here. But really, it's that my chief problem with the DCU is that everyone wanted DC to be like Marvel. And to a degree, I see what they're saying, but here's the thing. They're forgetting what made the MCU popular. Is that first off, here's the thing, they're relying too much on James Gunn's name in order to like sell Creature Commandos and stuff, and that's the problem. It's like, listen, if your DCU is supposed to be like, if you're supposed to be leading the DC cinematic universe, and yet hey, what's up, Tevia? And yet you're running all of these like D-list characters, I'm sorry, that's not going to perform well, I don't think.
This looks like somewhere Cleon would come.
Alright, so those that just entered, we are trying to complete Assassin's Creed Odyssey today. If not today, we'll do it tomorrow, but we should be able to do it. At least the main Odyssey quest line is what we'll do. Oh, I was just here. Interesting. Alright, so I gotta go in there. So let me approach from this side. It says, yeah, WB doesn't think like the fans do. Yeah, exactly. And they claim to do it, but they really don't. That's why I'm skeptical whenever any creative goes, oh, I was a big fan of the comics. I was a big fan of this. I was a big fan of this. And I'm like, if Gunn was a big fan of the comics, why does he change literally everything he does?
I need to find
he adapts. Because if you notice, Peacemaker is not the Peacemaker from the comics. Creature not Creature Commanders. What's the word? Vigilante is not the one from the comics. So really, I really doubt that whatever. I honestly doubt that we're entering this golden age of like comic accurate stuff. And second off, I'm like, it doesn't have to reflect the comics, because guess what? If I wanted it to reflect if I wanted the movies to reflect the comics, or I wanted more the
Looks
comic
like someone
storylines,
back here.
I would literally go read the comics. It's really that simple. It's a buried chest, but it's locked. You get a key. Alright, so I have to go find a key to a chest. I'm gonna go do this. Yeah, Tevi, they definitely don't care about cash. If they cared about cash, they wouldn't have treated Henry Cavill in the BS way they did. I'm sorry. The whole Henry Cavill situation is when I got very, like, jaded in terms of WB handling anything. Because I'm sorry, I don't trust WB to run any... I don't even trust them to run a freaking childcare. I gotta be honest. Gunn doesn't even like female characters. Look at the Guardians he made Gamora so weak, and character assassination in the third plot, and Manson Nebula. Yeah, exactly. The only female character he cares about is any female character played by his wife, as we can see. Because Harcourt is not that important to DC at all. So I'm gonna have to run. Let's see, where's the key? Okay, the key is on this side. Alright, I have the key, so let's go find that chest. So I'm gonna try and sneak back on the other side of this wall. Okay, good. And then Tevia says, honestly, it should be the other way around, with the source material being the ones that influence the movies, not have the movies affect the comics. Yeah, but remember, Tevia, these companies, and this is not necessarily a WB exclusive problem, Disney has this issue too. They think that if someone goes and sees the movie, that they will run to the comic book store to pick up a comic. And while that does happen... because I'm not going to lie, sometimes it could happen. Like with me, because I've said many times, I got into comics because of the Snyderverse. While it does happen, it's not as much of a guarantee as WB thinks it is. And the sooner WB understands this, the sooner the better. Now I got to retreat. Hey, come on, get up the wall, please. Yeah, because Marvel had this issue where they were trying to push Captain Marvel as like the most important hero for like the movies, and then remember what happened with the comics. All of a sudden she was this big hero, and she's not. But even if she were, the problem with Captain Marvel or like any of Marvel's female characters is that they butcher them relentlessly. Like with Mary Jane Watson, like with Black Cat, like with who else? Who else have they butchered beyond Captain Marvel? Like with She-Hulk. There's any number of characters that they have utterly destroyed. And the sooner that we stop letting Marvel do this to characters, the better. That's why I trust Marvel even less than WB. I trust Marvel more to respect their character. Actually, wait, the other way around. I trust DC more than Marvel. And that says a lot, because you guys know how much I don't trust DC or WB.
Good, you're here. The people are waiting for me to speak.
You should be able to use this to your advantage. It's what I could find about...
With the sway.
Then it's up to us.
So you'll join...
Talking to the people may not be enough.
I'm surprised to hear you suggest such an idea.
Desperate times.
So I did. Follow my lead.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, you're not wrong. What happened to Mary Jane is sad because it's very... Yeah, she is a great character. But again, it's because you got editors that don't like her. It's not just Nick Lowe. It's a lot of different editors that work at Marvel. Pika says the fact that I can wait for the Batman Part 2 and only feel obligation to check out the movie formerly known as Superman Legacy is alarming if I want to call myself a DC fan. Yeah, exactly.
That's ridiculous. I'm not harming the person.
Would the person not have been safe from harm otherwise?
From me, at least, yes.
Then you admit you bear responsibility for that harm, for you have still participated in it, even if indirect.
I suppose I do.
We have agreed.
And I have the game guide open to this, so yes, I'll definitely.
So let me.
I definitely have this. I'll decide with the crowd.
The majority is always right.
And who is informing the majority?
I suppose.
What do you guys think? By the way, so let me ask you guys this. What character do you think both companies have utterly destroyed? Like, which character do you think they have disrespected and butchered?
People who lie to me don't
And it can be
deserve my
Marvel
trust.
or DC or anyone else.
If someone lies to you,
Yes,
so you agree that someone who lied.
of course.
Oh, Athenia, I would and would.
Of course not.
Above all,
Cleon has lied to you in order to get.
should the ship arrive.
Cameron
in
says,
the
honestly,
Delhi,
married
the
superheroes
people
should not
stand
be
no chance of
that
surviving.
hard to write. I don't know
Now
why.
that you know
Well,
the
because
truth,
here's the
you can
thing,
take
though,
back your
Cameron.
decision.
And
Another vote must be called.
Benny the Comic
The
Historian
lives of
brought
those
this up when I
people
had
are
him on
in
my
your
show,
hands, too.
R.I.P. by the way.
ship
He
must
said that
be
the problem
stopped.
with female with like Lois, let's say, he used Lois as an example, is that when you have a superhero married to a non-superhero, there's very little you can do in terms of story that doesn't revert eventually
was a
back
great
to
display of rhetoric. People will be unable
saving
to
that
deny
person.
what they heard.
That's the problem with like the female characters, because otherwise it's like, why would you do? Because
All
let me
we
see.
did was
What we did
Because
was far more.
and it
We
was
used
my
proof
same
and
problem
clear argument
when
to
I
bring forth
like
an
was reading
outcome
World
that
Saga
will not
and Lois
just
was in
hurt
danger. I'm
Leon,
like,
but
so I know
hopefully
DC
save
doesn't have the
countless
balls to
lives.
kill her, so why do I
wasn't
care?
enough.
If you want to talk about there being zero
I
stakes,
believe
there are
words of
zero
Cleon's
stakes in
misdeeds
Lois.
will be shared
Wonder
throughout
Woman and
Earth.
Spider-Man. Yes,
And
okay, there you go.
citizens
At this
love
point,
the
DC
city
and Marvel
and what it
don't really
stands
care about him. Which is
Nobody
sad, because in
wishes for it
Spider-Man's
before.
case, Spider-Man is like the most popular / highest like selling comic book character next to Batman. And they destroy the character relentlessly. That is honestly the most like abysmal thing. That's yeah. DC should do what New Direction did. Oh, of course. Yeah, well, of course. DC should do whatever Jay Heat and I say. Like married superheroes should be easy to write and have kids. For example, Venom. Yeah, exactly. Dylan was a good thing. You just need a good writer. The problem is a lot of writers that these companies hire are either too lazy or honestly it's just too lazy, because you could find a way to write any character well. Any character. I'm sure I could write Carol well or Kamala Khan well. I could even write Lois well. But here's the thing, it's because I would be going into it intending to write well. But the problem is,
As I knew it would
as in the
be.
case of like
With
Zev
that
Wells
and the proof,
or
you
Bendis
succeeded
or
at
anyone
the
else,
Cleon has
you
lost
have
much
writers
of
that
his
come in with their own
popularity.
agenda and
Now
just
he
want to
heads
wreck
to
things.
Amphipolis in an
And that's the
effort to
problem.
redeem himself.
DC has to, and this has been my
Cassandra,
position
Brasilia
for
said-
like
You know,
a long time.
If you
What
reach him before
DC
I
needs
do,
to
tell
do,
him I'm on
and this
the
is
way.
Marvel too, the editors need to learn to tell their writers no. And they don't do it.
Brasidas
They
needs
really
my help.
don't.
I plan on giving it to him.
Whatever you decide,
I can't promise anything.
be safe.
Okay, so now I got to go find Brasida. So let's go. And yeah, we should be able to end the game today. So let's go. Yeah, let's. And Tevia says it should be I should see the Marvel editorial is so obsessed with not having Peter Parker and Mary Jane happy and want him to suffer, which is sad. Yeah, I know. It's really sad. It is really sad, Tevia. It is very sad, because it's like you have a cash cow. Spider-Man is one of the characters that gets close to outselling Batman. And yet, you guys destroy the character over and over and over and over again. And I feel like eventually we're going to approach a point when the fan base is going to say, okay, we're done. And then I do think eventually we're going to have a shakeup in leadership, because these companies are starting to pick up that that it matters how you write these characters. Because that's the problem with like the way Marvel and DC have been handled, is that they're owned by like mega corporations that don't respect the comics. So if they don't respect the comics, they don't really care how they should be written. That's the thing. So let's see. I need a, how do I fast travel? Because I'm trying to get to this point, but it won't let me fast travel. Okay, maybe I have to go to a certain place. Okay, so let me do this. Like, I just don't get why does Marvel Comics want to see their flagship characters suffer 20%, and that's not good for business. Yeah, it's basically ego. That really is what I think it is, Tevia. It's a lot of ego. Ooh, I can upgrade something, I think. What can I upgrade? Ooh, did I get a lieutenant? Oh, okay, I recruited someone. Okay, that's what that was. Alright, so now let's see if I can fast travel, because it's going to take a while if I have to sail all the way there. So at least if I can warp all the way over to here. Okay, good. They say they want to be relatable, and I'm like, having a stay. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. No, it's not just that, camera. It's not necessarily that they want to be relatable. It's that they also want the characters to never age, and they think that, like, Spider-Man being married with kids ages him, and I'm like, then elevate Miles. He's already kind of redundant, but if you make him the younger Spider-Man and then give Peter the family, like an Ultimate Spider-Man, which is selling like hotcakes still, even though some of the stories have kind of like, from what I've heard, some of the stories have kind of drifted off. It's still selling well. So literally, you have a perfect example. It's not like Ultimate Spider-Man didn't sell well. It sold a ridiculous amount of copies and went to like a bunch of reprints. So what are you talking about if you think that like it wouldn't sell well?
Off we go now.
It is real. It astounds me how stupid these companies are if they really don't want to like help the characters. Indeed, which is sound depressing because there's one character who should be allowed to be born and that's Spider-Man's proving wrong. Yeah, exactly. I don't know why I was knocked off by a bear, but I'm just gonna flee because I'm not in the mood to fight a bear. I guess the path just led me right into a wild animal. Looks like we're gonna be walking, folks. Pikachu says that satire Alan Moore did in Volume 3, I think, of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but heroes owned by corporations, kept alive in retirement homes, felt too true. Yeah, but honestly, that's kind of true, and that's kind of what Deadpool 3 was making a joke about. We said they're gonna keep you doing this until you're 90. That's kind of what the joke was. Alright, so now that I am here, so let me see, because I can't fast travel there, because I don't have any points where I can fast travel. Can I? No, I didn't. This is the problem with not doing the side quests. Ah, God. Alright. Let's continue the walk. But it shouldn't be that long. No, wait, it was Volume 4. Okay, indeed, and you said Ultimate Spider-Man outsold every outsold the main book, and it sells nobody. Yeah, exactly. Ultimate Spider-Man is there. You literally have the example of what to do. you literally have, like, I can't stress this enough. You have a sales juggernaut, something that sold extremely well. And yet, you don't capitalize on that. You know what? At this point, Marvel deserves their financial issues. They really do. And a lot of these these companies don't deserve to own these characters because they don't utilize them properly, or in a way that would actually sell. Because I got news for you. Regardless of like regardless of like our personal opinions on these characters, what has to be number one is sales. If number one is not sales, then the company is a failure. Because guess what? With a company like DC, Marvel, or something like that, yeah, the number one thing that these companies have to consider is sales. Because guess what? Disney and like WB, they are not in any way charities. They are businesses. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not an economics major. I was just a political science major. So, what do I know about running a business? I only run a successful YouTube channel. But the prime focus of a business is to make profit. That's literally the point of a business. Like, it's the most asinine thing I have ever heard, the way these companies act, not only toward their customers, but also towards their not only toward their customers, but also to their very characters that make them the billions of dollars that they need, that they drastically need. I mean, all of a sudden they care about profits. Let me put it this way: if they cared about profits, James Gunn would not be in charge of DC. Because here's the thing: while maybe it was popular critically, all of his DC projects, all of them, didn't perform well from a sales or a like views perspective compared to the previous like universe. It just didn't. You could say Suicide Squad was because of COVID, but you also had movies like Fast and the Furious. You had other movies coming out during quarantine or during around the same time that Suicide Squad came out, where guess what? It did dramatically better than Suicide Squad. It's just what DC has to realize first off is that the Suicide Squad is not a valid brand that would work. It's not. It's really not. Suicide Squad is not this big brand that DC wants it to be. Can it become that? Sure. But honestly, I don't see it becoming any popular. I definitely don't see Creature Commandos becoming more popular. But we will certainly see. We will certainly see. It's going to be very interesting to see how DC advances in the next few days. But anyway, enough about that. So what comic books are you guys reading and enjoying? And why? So let's get some positivity in there. Because personally, I've been enjoying a lot of Mark Waid's Action Comics, even though it's Mark Waid. But heck, Top Gun Maverick made $1 billion and was a great movie, even though I like Suicide Squad. I would rather have a Justice movie. Yeah, exactly! Thank you. Yeah. Zack Snyder's Justice League actually performed very well in streaming and crashed the servers. As opposed to James Gunn's Suicide Squad, which didn't perform well. It just didn't. Here's the thing. This is going to be the deciding factor, because if Superman bombs, it's going to prove what I've always said. James Gunn does not have the name cachet to bring enough people to the theaters for it to be successful. Because honestly, in terms of how much cash this movie can make, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I don't see Superman making more than Man of Steel. I just don't. I really don't. Because at least with Snyder, people show up for his movies. And before you say Guardians had the added boost of being Marvel. People will show up for Marvel movies even if they're bad, except for like the last few, which is like Ant-Man or something like that. But it's like for the longest time, people wanted Marvel and then Guardians of the Galaxy. If you notice, that's why his first project is basically Guardians of the Galaxy, but DC, because that's where people know him for. And then we'll see. Because if he hits Superman out of the park, hey, sweet. I will even do a stream saying, hey, you know what? I may have been wrong about James Gunn. Maybe he can do this. I don't anticipate that happening, but we'll see. Yep, exactly. Yep. So you're reading Ultimate Spider-Man, which is good, and also Absolute Batman. Which, yeah, exactly. It's pretty fun. The Absolute Universe has been pretty decent, and of the number ones I've read. Now, again, do I think it'll have, like, legs? What's going to determine that is how big of a drop-off we get from issue to issue, and where it ends up in terms of, like, where it turns up in sales. Because this could be just the first issue, like, boost that any new series goes, particularly any, like, new, like, continuity. So that will be a major deciding factor. So I'd say let's give it about 5 issues, like a full arc. Once we get like an arc down, we can do like a sales analysis, and that might actually be a good stream. Particularly for Brit and I to do for Super Wonder, where we look at like the sales and determine, okay, so based upon the drop off, was it as successful as quite frankly DC needs it to be? Because it could be it wasn't, but it could be it was. And we'll certainly need to see. Because if it was successful, then I think that it has more legs. Honestly, if Absolute Wonder Woman keeps outselling main Wonder Woman by this much, it's only a matter of time before I think they remove Tom King from Wonder Woman, because it's not because first off, Trinity is not catching on like they thought it would, and I'm interested to see where that Trinity ongoing series lands in terms of sales, because if that doesn't sell well, then I guarantee you they shelve that waste of a character. So we'll see about that. We are almost there. I promise, people, we are almost there. Oh my gosh. Because all I gotta do is talk to this guy, do a battle, and then we should be good. I wish this horse could ride faster. Okay, there you go. Now we're moving. Okay, so he'll be right up there in the... Not a bad idea. I would be all for... honestly, I'm all for DC taking a gamble with new universe movies. Yeah, you need some options. Because if you give the people options instead of taking them away, like they did with like the new 52 or like Snyderverse, where when you take away options, you immediately limit your audience. When you limit your audience, you're limiting the almighty green dollar, folks. Because because if you're prioritizing cash, you're gonna have all these different versions. Because here's the thing, DC invented the multiverse. That's what a lot of people like say. Yeah, exactly, Tavia. Because here's the problem: Damien is the only child of the Trinity that has like performed moderately well, and it's arguably because he has the bad boost.
Good to see you. At least they didn't get my...
I'm glad you're all right.
I'm happy it got to...
Alright, let's do this.
Leon's here.
Easy.
All the more...
You've proved...
We're going...
Good. Today, we give everything...
So now we are going to go fight. We're gonna go full... This is Sparta. Alright. And the problem with DC is that with Trinity is that they're pulling that whole, oh, you have to like Trinity because she is awesome, and I'm like, no, arguably she's not. Or if you wanted her to be good and like for people to really like identify with her, you shouldn't have put Tom King on the book, because Tom King is not known for creating characters that laugh. Case in point, Gotham and Gotham Girl. Do you think video game movies will be more the game people to check on superheroes? That's a good question. I don't think so, because it's different genres and stuff. Stop bouncing away, you a-hole. Yeah, the whole connected thing, I think that was just for marketing. I don't think, like, gaming, I don't think it's going to happen at all. Because here's the problem with doing gaming. Unless it's mobile gaming, which, if it's mobile gaming, I'm going to be pissed because he didn't represent it as such. If he just meant that they're going to do mobile gaming, that is a waste. But the problem with trying to factor in gaming, which I think he doesn't, like, get, is that you have to, if it's an actual game, those come out like years down the road. So even if you have if you're planning like a Superman or a Wonder Woman game, like to coincide with a movie, what happens if the movie is delayed and then you have to release the game? Or what happens if the game is delayed and it doesn't launch with the movie? There's like 8,000 ways where this could turn out badly. And honestly, I think the problem with Gunn is that he's approaching this too much like a comic book fan and not enough like someone that's actually trying to figure out if this stuff sells. And then Saffron is not going to tell him no, even though he's supposed to. He's the business guy. But Saffron is not going to tell Gunn no. Absolutely not, he won't. Which is sad because that's kind of what the partnership is supposed to be. He's supposed to be the business guy, and Gunn is supposed to be the creative guy. But no.
The Athenian camp is ahead! Destroy it all!
Alright, let's go fight the Athenians. And hopefully soon end this battle. Let's do this. Yep, so since we're pretty much at the end, we'll just complete the game no matter what. So we'll play until we beat the game.
A bad day for Athens! A glorious day for Sparta!
Hey, what's up, Giratina? Good to see you, brother. Stop bouncing backwards. Yeah, exactly, Tab. It's a lose-lose. I don't see... really, particularly with, like, the news of WB considering selling DC, that just about shows you how much confidence they have in Gunn. Because if they really had 100% confidence in James Gunn, that wouldn't be an option. They'd be like, no, we're going to hang on to this because we have faith in the plan. They really don't. They really, really don't. There's no way they do. If they did, they wouldn't be considering selling what is quite possibly one of their biggest brands. Because think about it this way. WB currently owns the most famous characters in pop culture. They own Superman and Batman. So you're telling me you're just going to sell it because you don't think it's going to be spectacular? That also shows how bad WB's monetary situation is. And that's why, again, that's the other reason why I don't think they're going to be able to do a lot of stuff. And that's why they're casting a lot of unknown actors as well, because because everything is on the cheap side. That's why, like, Lanterns is very grounded. Oh boy, Zamos. Here we go. This ain't good. The question is, the answer to that, Tevia, is because currently the prime candidate to sell DC to is Universal, and it would be from what the article for Variety said, it would be selling all of DC, like the movies and the comics, to Universal. Which would honestly be really cool. I wouldn't be like opposed to that, because then we can get they would essentially add like a DC part to Universal. So I think it'd be kind of cool. I would so go to a DC park and then would vlog it for the channel.
Fucking coward! She can't get away.
Now I gotta kill this guy.
Unfortunately for you, it is.
It's not too late, you know. You can still join us.
We're not in Athens. You can't talk your way out of this.
Why won't you just leave me alone? This is all your fault.
You did this, Cleon. You have only yourself to blame.
Cassandra.
You turned him against us.
We lifted Vimos.
You made him a monster.
Then fight by
his name.
I beg you.
Shut the fuck up.
My hands are empty.
Owen Guntia says, next year I'll be doing live streams on DC characters like Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Batman. And I am looking to invite guests who are fans of DC. Hey, if you're inviting, I'd love to be a part of that. 100%, dude. I would absolutely be down for that.
As a coward.
I'm not through. I won't be forgotten for all I've done.
You're not worth the memory.
Now we're gonna go to Sparta, and then we'll see if I get the ending. Let's see.
That's it then. Irene will want to know Cleon is dead. And Brasidas. I should have gotten to Vimos sooner. I'm sorry, my friend.
So let's go back to Sparta. Okay, so we should be ending the game. Let's do this. All right. Yeah, I say let's do it. Man, that was brutal. Yeah, exactly. I felt it would be good for... I figured since everything he did, I'm like, nah, I'm going to take him out. Okay, so let's go complete the game. Yeah, exactly. Sure thing, comments again. I'll be looking to try and get others like Super High, the 4KO, and Fish in the Drum, and the Pinless Gussies. Yep. All those are great options.
I need to stay hidden.
Super Hive is cool. I've seen it. Aaron's work. He makes great content. Great content. Alright, so now we are moving toward the mountain where I was thrown off as a child, according to this game. Let's go. Yeah, so this is pretty much the end of the game. So we're just gonna play through. We are currently in ancient Sparta, by the way. So yes, this is Sparta. Yep, Aaron does, and he's the first among DC fans to speak the truth to wrongdoers of the studios back in 2023. Yeah, he is. He's a cool dude. I plan on trying to have him on my channel as well. Let's see. Oh, speaking of Cassandra, that reminds me of the sort of fan fiction idea. But if you would write Wonder Woman, would I? No, because that would put Wonder Woman as like an immortal, and I'm not interested in doing that, honestly. The other way would just make Cassandra an Amazon, but that's like the bare minimum I would do if I were to write this as a story. And by the way, as I approach, why don't I just remind you guys of what we got coming up. So at 6 p.m. we will be going live to discuss, for Under Two Capes, to discuss the Keaton verse and how we would do the Bat family.
Asidas is dead. No.
And then we will discuss. So movie night Saturday is. Saturday is Spider-Man 2 for movie night, and then let's see what else. So, okay, so movie night on Saturday, and then Britt and I are going live at 9 p.m. on Saturday to discuss Super Wonder and Black Panther and Storm and the similarities between those two pairings. Because here's the interesting thing: Black Panther and Storm has been called the Super Wonder of Marvel. So there's a lot of different ways they can go with this.
This is where everything changed. It's like I never left.
Okay, so I gotta look at the game guide right now to make sure I make all the right dialogue choices.
On the edge of the world, a mother calls out to her child. Touching.
Alexios. Please.
You use that name as if it means something to me.
It's the name your father.
Was that before or after you...
It was the cult. I tried to save you.
And they told me you abandoned your son.
Alexios, we are your family.
Family? My sword is my family. The battlefield is my home.
I promised to bring him back, Mater. But the cult has poisoned his mind.
Promised to bring me back to Mater, did you? You didn't bring me here.
Here we go.
Why don't you tell our Mater the truth?
And what truth is that?
Yes, the member stream is going to be at 8 p.m. So it's a packed night tonight.
I will bring
those of you that want to be a part of that, consider becoming a member at pretty much any like what's the word? Any any tier. I'll let you do that. I'll let you in.
The cult
and that means you basically get to join the panel and discuss stuff with us.
We can destroy them and bring peace back to this world.
Peace? And what under Helios would you do with yourself if there was peace? Milk the goats? Look at you! Almighty Mystios. You profit from this war as much as I do.
What I want, what I have always wanted, is my family.
Let's see.
When I was little, I watched. As even in the...
I loved you!
The one you love is dead. My destiny is...
Alright, let's see if I get it. Let's see if I get it.
Listen to me. You are my brother. I tried to protect you once, and I failed. I will not fail again.
Okay, what's happening? Alright, here we go. Here we go. Let's see if I get it. Oh, I think I get it. I think I got it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Come on. Come on.
This belonged to our grandfather.
I think I got it. Wait, I gotta make dinner. All right, see you, Giratina.
You're home now.
Hey, we did it!
I've done terrible things.
We all have Alexios.
Yes, I got the good ending.
I know.
This is my second time completing the whole game.
Wait. Thank you.
Did you manage to save the stepbrother too? Yes, I did. I did. I definitely did. So that should be the best family ending. That's why I just gotta go to the house and then enter the house. Here we go. Let's do this. See my ending. Yep.
Sometimes the face we show to the world needs to be one of strength, despite the chaos we harbor beneath.
There's more to being the best than pure strength.
That's an excuse for the weak.
I'll show you who's weak.
Well, at least the family is all together. I'll get more wine.
Well, that wasn't so bad, was it?
I can't believe I have a family again.
The gods work in mysterious ways.
Someone's kept their eye on me.
You're special! Look at the life they've blessed you with!
That's optimistic.
Just...
Right behind you.
Heck yeah. And now I also have the family members available for my crew. So actually what I could just do, let's go to my ship. I could just load up. So let me take off like Aya and put in Brane as my lieutenant. And then there you go. All Greek crew. Alright. So we did it! We actually beat Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So there you go. This was really fun, and I definitely enjoyed playing a Wonder Woman game. So our next game, I'm thinking we could try Halo or something else. Probably Halo, so we'll start at Halo Reach and move on. But yeah, so I've gone over, so to review, in about hour or so, we're going to be going live for Under 2 Capes. We're going to be talking about putting the Bat family in the Keaton verse. Then we are going to discuss, then obviously at 8 p.m. we're going to go live. No, I know it has the epilogue, but that requires killing every cultist, and I'm not going to do that. But in terms of the members panel, which will be at 8 p.m., where we're just going to hang out and just talk comics. And then Friday is obviously Comics League Dark. And then movie night is going to be Spider-Man 2. And then for Super Wonder Legacy, Britt and I are going to compare Superman and Wonder Woman to Black Panther and Storm. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that this gameplay walkthrough of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And we will see what game we end up playing. So, obviously, also, next week is Lego Batman. And then after that, we start a new game. But anyway, stay heroic, everyone. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane. She belongs to General Zod. Zois and Max are bad for life. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.